Anyway, so I'm Scott Teeples, and all of you know me. I'm in Oregon, and Krisann Blair, and Chrisann is going to do your presenter today, and it's going to be on. And correct me if I'm wrong on this. Christmas in July, and she's in Tennessee. So, Ann, you want to tell them where you're from?
Oh, McMinnville, Oregon.
Okay. How about Barbara? You're muted, Barbara. We'll get her back on there. How about Sparky? I don't know where Sparky's from. They've been. How about Linda
I am in Amity, Oregon.
and Bonnie? You're muted, Bonnie.
Klamath Falls, Oregon.
Yeah, she's in the other room. And Cassandra.
She may not know she's
She's muted.
Oh, okay, but she's in Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
And Carrie Evans.
I'm currently in Fairbanks, Alaska from Klamath Falls, Oregon.
Okay. And is it Aileen? She's muted.
Is that Eileen may be from Hawaii. This is Barbara. I'm from Hawaii.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just didn't know if you heard. Let's see. How about Eva?
Hawaii.
Okay. I just watched a really nice thing on Hawaii this morning about the whole state and stuff. It's on the Smithsonian Channel. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Chrisann, and hopefully we'll pick up some other people as we go along here. And so it's all you. So it's all yours, Chrisann. I'm going to go highlight you.
Okay, let me share my screen here. Give me just a second. Let's see. And we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. And audience window. All right. Can y'all see that now? Is that good, Scott? Can you see it?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay. Awesome. Let me do a few more things here. Move me around. Let's see. Sorry, I've lost my notes. They went away. All right.
We'll
All
be
right.
fine.
Okay, sorry. Thought I had this down pat this morning. And I didn't. Okay, let me make sure I got it moving. Yep. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Krisann Blair, and I'm also known as the Christmas Coach. And I founded Christmas Organizing back in 1998. And what happened was I had a terrible Christmas, so to speak. I just didn't get the things done. I didn't make it to Christmas Eve services. It just did not go how I expected it to. So I started a online email group that I was part of way back in the day. You communicated through something called One List, and then it became Yahoo groups, and so it's forerunners of Facebook and stuff like that. And every day I would share tips and stuff, and that led into writing books. And so I've written several books, and I have a website, and I am just loving sharing all the time information about getting organized for Christmas year round. Now, some people go, oh, year round, I don't want to think about it year round, but it's not really about keeping Christmas up year round, but If you want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's more about thinking about Christmas ahead of time
Right.
so that you can do different pieces and get things prepared for when
But
December comes around, or November, whenever you start your Christmas. So my basis of everything is having a Christmas notebook. So this is like your place that you keep all of your information and everything. So we'll go into that a little bit later, but that's kind of where I came from. I do live in Jackson, Tennessee. I have 2 grown children and a daughter-in-law, and I'm originally from West Virginia, where I did grow up with one of my grandmothers being involved in homemaker clubs all of her life and she was in a club that when she died, there was 3 of them left, and she was 97 and there were still 3. And when those 3 died, they would disband. So she was in it for all of my life that I can remember. I have been in FCE since I was 26, and I'm 53 now. So I have thoroughly enjoyed, and I've learned so much, and a lot of it, I can put back into my Christmas organizing, my writing, and being able to speak and things like that. So, all right. So we're just going to quickly go through the ABCs of Christmas planning. I have a new book that's getting ready to come out in July. It's called Prepping for Christmas, and you're planning, prepping. That's what we're wanting to do. So I'm just going to kind of give you all a little brief overview of what I teach and how I do things. All right. So first is A. A is for activities. I define activities as things that you do at home with your family that are not entertaining. So maybe you have a movie night with your family. Maybe you have a hot chocolate night, and you just have people come over and do, and not people, you're just your immediate family. It's more of a casual type of thing. And for Christmas in July, because kind of like what I'm going to do is give you tips of things that you could do now for each of these different topics in July to help you get ready. So for your activities, go ahead and take out a piece of paper and jot down some things that you would like to do during the month of December during the Christmas season. So it might be something like have a baking day or have a movie night with the family, things like that. Just write all those down. And while you're at it, ask the other people in your family about what they might like to do, because you might be surprised. All right. B is for budgeting. This is a big one. We don't want to go into debt at Christmas. So it's really important. Now is a time to make those determinations. Sit down, make out a budget, figure out how much you have to spend and what categories are you going to spend it on. One of my stories that I like to talk about is back when I first got married in 92, that first Christmas, I went to the store all excited to be the one making all this baking and everything. And I bought all the stuff I needed to bake everything for, fudge and cookies and just everything I wanted to make. And I got up to the cash register and it was over $200. My entire food budget for the month was $200. So I did not budget correctly to be doing that. So it's really important so you don't have that extra stress on you during the month. And now one of the things that I like to talk about too that I do, and this is something you can start doing now. So everybody see what this is? This is a $5 bill. If you use cash, or when you do use cash, if you get a $5 bill back, take it, fold it up, and tuck it away, and let that be your Christmas money. It's a really easy way to get some savings put away for Christmas, kind of like on the side. You never know. And then I keep it in my purse. So if I run across something I'm going to buy, I already have it on the side, and it's really, really easy to get to. All right. C is for Christmas cards. What can you do in Christmas in July for Christmas cards? Well, Christmas cards would definitely be to start buying stamps. If you know how many people you want to do, go ahead and buy a book of stamps. And then people go, but I can't buy Christmas stamps now. Yes, you can. You can actually go on to USPS.com and order Christmas stamps all year long. It may not be the newest one coming out, but they do have different ones that are out there, and you can go ahead and buy those. You can order them online. They come to you in the mail, and then you can put them in your Christmas notebook and be able to have them when you're ready to work on your Christmas cards. All right, decorating. Now is the time to kind of start in July, getting ideas together for what you want to do for decorating. You just never know where inspiration may come from. Look around your yard. Do you have some magnolia trees or other type of trees that might supply fresh greenery for you during Christmas time? Write that down. That's a great budget saver. And if it's not your yard, maybe look at your neighbor's yard and kind of start planning some of that out. Also, as far as decorating, think about taking pictures. Make a little note to take pictures when you have all of your Christmas decorations up in the future this Christmas, and then you can put it away so you know what to do for the next year. All right, so the next one is hang on, didn't get that right. Next one is E is for events. So a lot of us have different things that we do. We love to go to a symphony or to a drive-through live nativity, or maybe there's a annual Christmas party for something. Go ahead now and call or look on their website or somehow research when that date is going to be, what the cost is, when the tickets go on sale, so that you can have that information down and you can start making plans. Because especially now, things are getting back to normal, as I say, and people are starting to do things that they had abbreviated before or things like that. So it's really important to find out if they've changed dates or things like that. That can be a really good way to do that. All right, next is F. F is for feasts. And so that's all this wonderful food that we cook during the holiday season. That can absolutely blow your mind sometimes, I guess. And one of the suggestions that I have for July is to create an idea book with your recipes and other information for your menus, as well as any new things that you think you might want to try. And what I want you to do is I want you to actually make those things that you want to try in July, instead of waiting till December when you're serving it, to see if it's something A, that the family likes, and B, do you really want to make it? Was it more complicated than what you thought? So that's a really easy way to do that. All right, G is for gifts. One of my things about gifts that I love to do is I love to give gifts with a theme. So if you come up with a theme for your gift giving, you can gift to different people, different groups, but have a focused idea of what type of gifts you're going to give for them. For example, one of my favorite to give or to do is warmth. Warmth can span everything. It could be a Starbucks gift card, or it could be a cashmere sweater. So you can, go all over the place, money wise, how much you want to spend. It could be something, it could be hand warmers. You could just be giving out hand warmers to people. It could also be warmth, could be spiced tea mix, which is something that I make. It could even be some kind of chili powders or, hot sauces. My son loves hot sauce. So it could be hot sauce. Yeah, I am so sorry this is going off because I set it to do not disturb, and I don't know why those are going off. So if you have a theme, you can do it for different groups, and you can do things like that. Or one of my favorite things that I did when my children were growing up, and I have done it for them as adults also, we pick a theme for their gifts. So like when my daughter was 10 or 12, she got an American Girl doll. We gave her the American Girl doll, but we asked everybody else that gave her gifts, grandparents, aunts, uncles, things like that, to give her items that went with the doll so that she had a cohesive gift. And she absolutely loved getting all the accessories. It helped us not to go broke, and it all of her gifts connected into each other. We've done the same thing with grilling for my husband and for my son. This past year, my mother-in-law, we did an Instapot. So we got her the Instapot. We got her an insert that went into it that had different baking things, as well as cookbooks, because she lives by herself. So we got cooking for 1 or 2 in an Instapot. So everything went together, and that was a really great way to give the gift. All right, next we have H. H is for handmade. So I know that a lot of people in our FCE groups, we craft, and whether it's crafting, sewing, or quilting, or making jams and jellies, because I consider food items to also be, handmade. Well, this is handmade. So yeah, so we'd be making handmade. A lot of times during the summer, I encourage everybody to use the fruits and vegetables that are found in season, and that really helps to lower costs and everything. But go ahead and determine what things you want to make handmade now in July, so you can start making sure that you have enough time to complete all of them. You cannot make, at least I don't think, you can make 22 handmade sweaters starting November 1st for everybody in your family. You may be able to, and that would be great, but most people probably can't. So you want to kind of think about that. I make a raspberry pepper jelly, and I give that away as gifts as well as hostess gifts. So in the fall, I wait till the fall because I am using frozen berries. But I wait and I make sure that I have all my supplies together, but I go ahead and make those early, because I make about 4 to 5 dozen of those, and it takes me about 3 days to get all of those done, just so that I'm not extremely hot. It's tiring being on your feet that long doing that many jars. And I usually do the little baby jars as well as the larger jars. So that's just, I have to plan that out and make sure that I plan enough time for that. All right. I is for in the season. So this is something that is not necessarily a Christmas in July, but you can make a note of it now. So to have a notebook that you keep in your purse, or you keep on you, or a tab in your phone under notes, that you write down any ideas that you see or wish you had done during the Christmas season. So like if you are out touring Christmas homes and you see something that they did and it's like, oh, that is so cool. Or you're at a party and somebody serves a certain kind of thing. Like I was looking through Pinterest the other day and I saw the walking pretzel salads, and I was like, that's really cool, and that would be fun to do at a brunch or something, because you actually use the pretzel bag and you put the cheesecake stuff in it and then put some cherry filling on top of it. And I was like, well, that's just really cool. And then you put the spoon in it. And so that was something neat. So like if you see something cool like that at a party or an event or something, you can write that down. Or if you're doing something, go, I should have done XYZ, write that down in the little book so you have it for the next year. All right. J is for jot it down. I am really big on jotting things down. Just make quick lists of different ideas, kind of like a brain dump. So just take a piece of paper out and just write stuff down. I actually, with Christmas organizing, you will see the word joy everywhere, and it stands for joy. The J is jot it down. The O is organizing, and the Y is yearly planning. That's kind of the outline that we follow throughout the year and in my books. All right, next is K, and that is for the Christmas kitchen. And my tip to you now is for July, is to start shopping for non-perishables and freezables as early as this month, or, and going forward. So like if you can, I'm trying to think of something that I go ahead and start buying. I make fudge. So I go ahead and start buying the canned evaporated milk and other things that will not go bad, that'll still be good when I go to make them in late November. So I can go ahead and pick up a few things at the grocery store as I go. So make out your list of what you know you're going to need, and write that down and stick it in your purse. And every time you go to the store, pick up one or two or how many ever, and throw that into a container at home, like a separate little box or something, that that's your Christmas baking items. All right. Next we have L is for your grocery list. And so this is kind of goes hand in hand with what I talked about in the kitchen. Go ahead and divide your grocery list into perishables and non-perishables. That way you can start buying those non-perishables as you see them on sale, as you see them in the store. I usually pick up 5 items every time I go to the store for my non-perishable list. And I start with the things that are longest lasting, like canned items, things like that. Like if you use canned green beans to make a green bean casserole, and you do that every single year and you know it, you can go ahead and pick up your cans of canned green beans, things like that. So, and then even the chocolate chips and things like that for baking, they last a while. So you can do that. You can start picking up nuts if you need those. Those can go in the freezer, things like that. But it's just really helpful to start buying your items ahead of time, but you do need to make the list out. All right. M is for mailing. So one of my biggest tips is to use the USPS flat rate services if you are mailing things, because you can order the boxes for free online, and then you fill it with your gifts, you tape it up, and then you go online, you print out a label, tape it on there, and then you schedule the pickup you buy the postage online and schedule the postman or postwoman to come back to your house and pick up your box. So you never even have to leave the house if you don't want to do that. You also can take it and drop it off at the post office. But I have found these to be very, very handy. And the other tip that I have about mailing is to find a central location that you're mailing to. For example, I have 23 people that I mail gifts to at my grandmother's house. My grandmother has passed away, but I used to send them all to her house. So I would put, and I sent everybody fudge. So everybody had fudge, and I would use a priority mailbox and put everybody's fudge in there, tape it up and send it to her house. And now I send it to my aunt. But I would send it there, and then everybody would be for sure coming by her house because they all came there for Christmas Eve, and they would pick up their gifts from me when they came there. So instead of mailing it to each individual household that was in that same area, it really cut down on costs by putting them all in one box and sending them to one location. So even though it would cost around $20 some to mail the box of fudge, that was about $1 a person. But if I had done it to the 5 different families, it would have cost me closer to $50. So that's a really great savings. Also, even if you have people local, and you could also do the same thing, take all the gifts to one place if you're not going to personally see the people. It just really helps. All right. N is for notebook. Now, Christmas organizing, this is what my whole the whole Christmas organizing is based on, is creating a Christmas notebook. And this is my notebook. You can see it in the picture there too. That was another year's. This is this year's. I keep the same notebook, but I changed out the front. And this is where you keep your lists, you keep your calendar, you keep receipts, you keep ideas. I do have a separate notebook that I keep ideas for. And then if I'm going to implement that idea, I put it in this notebook. So for instance, if I see something great on the internet, or I'm at a craft fair and I see something and I take a picture of it, those are things that I might like to try. So I will print that off and put it into my notebook. That goes the same for recipes, craft ideas, gift ideas, things like that. And this is my go-to place to keep everything. It's so important to have this, this place to be a depository, I guess. And I want to encourage everybody. I am having a Christmas in July event for Christmas organizing, where I go into all of these items more detail. And so if you're on Facebook, just type in Christmas organizing, and there's a little link up there that says join now, and you can join in and read through some of the posts, and you'll see some where you can join that. You can go to christmasorganizing.com and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll have information there too. All right. Next is O. And O is for organizing. So organizing is where I have the forms. So I have created over 150 different Christmas organizing forms. And you're like, well, what might something like that be? Well, like, let's see, let me find one here that doesn't have a lot of information on it. Here's one that is my, so here's one that's on Christmas calendar. And what this is just asking some different questions for you to think about. But then in the gift section, I have the Christmas theming ideas. So there's the Christmas theme ideas. So you can write down different theme ideas that you might have for your immediate family, for your friends, your neighbors. But I just have all these different forms that are available that you can do. And that's where we get into the organizing. So when I send out newsletters, we do, for every topic, we have a Jot-it-Down for the J, and organizing for the O, and that's filling out either on a piece of paper or using one of the planning pages to help organize things a little bit better, taking that Jot-it Down list and going a little deeper. And then we have the yearly planning, which we'll come to in a few minutes. All right. Next is P is for parties. So right now is the time to make a list of different themes that you might have for a Christmas party. Ornament exchange, maybe a theme based on a movie. I used to have, well, I still have it somewhere. I have a It's a Wonderful Life game. So you could actually watch the It's a Wonderful Life movie, play the game, have people dress up from that era, serve foods that would have been from that time. So, you know, the parties can just be fun, different themes, but go ahead and start making a list of those so that you can start researching and seeing what all you want to do, what activities, what you might need, food things. That's something not to wait to the last minute to, how many people you want to have, things like that. All right. And Q is for questions. So one of the things that we are going to be starting tomorrow on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, and it is called Ask the Christmas Coach. And I will be answering about 5 minutes or less different questions that I get all the time about getting organized for Christmas, planning for Christmas. And so that's one of the things that I do is I answer your questions. All right. The next is R, which is the reason for the season. And one of the things that I really encourage everybody to do is to create a list of 25 ways to show Christmas kindness during December that you can go to and list. Doesn't have to be expensive things, doesn't have to be time consuming. It just needs to be some way to show Christmas kindness. It could be volunteering, it could be donating food, it could just be different things like that. We will be working on that list all month long and helping people add to their list. All right. S is for swaps. So consider having a Christmas treat swap instead of a cookie swap. That you can see up here in the picture. They have some cookies, but they have a few different little things too, I think. You could also swap dinners during the Christmas season. So make a list of different swap ideas. And if you're going to be hosting or part of a Christmas treats or Christmas cookie swap, go ahead and start thinking about that now and thinking about the things that you need and finding your different items and kind of being prepared for that. All right. T is for time management. So one of the best things to do is to set aside time to work on your different things, whether it's wrapping your gifts, working in your notebook, spending time on Pinterest to research your party ideas, looking for a new cookie recipe, anything like that. But try to plan and work 10 to 15 minutes at a time. You'd be so surprised at how much you can get done in that amount of time. And to help things go really good, you can find a cute little Christmas timer or something like that. I love this little Christmas tree timer Cassandra got for me. I use it all the time, and it's a really great little tool for time management. All right. Then we have, okay, I know this sounds kind of weird, but coming up with the ABC, we had to do a little bit of wrangling with the words. So we have uncluttered and unsoiled, and that stands for making room for your decorations by donating unused items, and unsoiled is your Christmas cleaning. So for the uncluttered, we need to make room for our Christmas items. So now is the time to start find a box and go through your house and start filling it up with things that you can donate. Maybe if you have like clothes and things like that you can go through your closet, or you have kids or grandkids, and find a consignment sale that's in the fall. They're looking for the winter clothes. They'll be looking for fall and winter clothes. So go ahead and start cleaning those out. I know I'm not wearing them in Tennessee right now. You may be in a colder climate, but our heat index right now is 96. And it was 106 last week. So, so no coats for us and stuff right now. So this is a good time to stay inside and kind of do some of that decluttering. And then as far as Christmas cleaning goes, think about the different things that you need to make sure are cleaned for Christmas. What kind of deep cleaning do you want to do? What type of surface cleaning would you need to do for a party, before Christmas Day? But also, what do you want to deep clean so that when you start moving furniture around to put out decorations and stuff, you can plan that out and have a list of that. All right. V is for volunteering. And I know none of you ladies volunteer at all. I'm teasing. I know that we all, FCE, a big part of what we do is volunteering. I volunteer a lot, of course, with FCE as well as 4-H, and some other, at church and different things like that. So now it's just a time in July is to make a list of different volunteer opportunities with different organizations or church-related projects that are near and dear to your heart that you might want to do during the month of November and December. And, it may be that you volunteer for the Christmas choir at church, or maybe you have a live nativity. Our church has a live nativity. Go ahead and start thinking about those things. Maybe you volunteer at the food pantry. Maybe you're just wanting to volunteer to take food to somebody. So, but now's the time to kind of start thinking about that and getting it on your Christmas calendar. All right. Next is W, and W is for wrapping. So one of the things that I have a problem with is I buy too much wrapping paper and too many bags. So this year I am trying to get through all of my wrapping paper, which probably won't happen, but I'm trying to keep myself from buying anything new. So I am utilizing what I have. And so what you can do this month in July is if you can easily access your Christmas wrapping items, if you have a lot of them, get them out and try to take an assessment of what you have and what you might need, because you may not really need that many. And one of the fun things too, you can put this down to do, instead of, if you don't have any bags, and you're wanting something quick and easy to wrap, is to use stockings. I will even get them at the Dollar Tree. And if you know about things at the Dollar Tree these days, when you see them come out, you need to grab them, because a lot of times things go very quickly. And when you're sitting around on December 15th going, oh, let me go get some stockings, there will not be any stockings there. But stockings are a favorite way for me to wrap gifts now, a lot of little things. And I take them and I wrap them up in tissue paper and I shove them in the stocking, and that makes it fun. They still get to unwrap things because they're unwrapping from the tissue paper, but the stocking is the quote gift bag. All right. Next is X is for Xmas. And this is one of those things that is a lot of controversy sometimes, but X does not mean taking Christ out of Christmas. And this is kind of one of these areas that I like to educate people on, that Xmas is, X actually stands for Christ in, oh, now I can't remember. I was supposed to write it all down and I forgot. Hang on just a second. Let me look it back up because I want to say it right. All right. So it's a common abbreviation of the word Christmas. And let's see. X represents the Greek letter chi, which is the initial letter in, I can't say it, which is the initial letter in, I can't say the word, but it means Christos. And what does this mean? It means Christ. So the X was a replacement for, oops, hang on just a second, for the word Christ, but not to take Christ out, but actually just as an abbreviation. Okay. Did something wrong. Okay. Oops. All right. Y is for yearly planning. Can y'all see that? Because I did something wrong on my computer. Can y'all still see the Y?
Yes.
Okay. So Y is for yearly planning. And this is your calendar. And calendars are so important to schedule everything in your Christmas planning. So I tell everybody to plan stuff, use your calendar to plan your planning as well as all of those events. And I love to use Google Calendar or my Outlook calendar, because you can actually create separate calendars and have it just for your Christmas stuff. And then you can merge them together if you want to look at all of them together. And then our last one is Z for zipping around. And this is for all that travel or just running around town during the Christmas time. Now is time. July is the time, if you're going to be taking trips in your car, to start thinking about that, to start thinking about plan B's and C's. But to go ahead and get, if you need a rental car, if you're going to be flying, if you are going to be traveling by train or whatever, just start looking into those reservations. Are you going to need a hotel? Because a lot of times the closer you get, the more expensive things will get, or you will not get the place that you're wanting. So now is the time to start exploring your different options for your zipping around during the Christmas season. All right. And that is it. So that's the ABCs of Christmas planning for Christmas in July, fast fire.
So Chrisann, you have some comments.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You want to go read those?
All right. Under the chat. Okay.
Yeah, under the chat. I see a few of them in there.
Okay. So I see Carrie's comment about taking the pictures of your decor. Yes, absolutely. Cassandra, that's one of Cassandra's tips. She helps me with a lot of different things. And she reminded me of that yesterday, of taking the pictures. And that's really a great idea. And I also take pictures of all the different decorations, and I print them out like a cheap way. Like Shutterfly allows you to print out pictures now. I used to use something called Groove Book, and I have these little Groove Books that have, I don't think I have one over here, that have all of my decorations and stuff in it, as well as my ornaments. And on the back of them, I write what they are, where they go, and how much they, where they came from, any kind of special thing, so that people are just absolutely, my kids can know where things came from. But yeah, definitely, because it's like every year you go, where did I have that last year? How did I decorate this or that? And so having the pictures are really great, and you just keep them in your notebook, and and then you just, under your decorating tab, and then you just have it so you can look at it for next year. And then Carrie, thank you about the notebook. Carrie, I love having notebooks to just have it done. And I don't have just one, I have about 6. So Bonnie says, oh, yeah, Bonnie, I came up with the ABCs, even though it's not in the order that I do through the book that I have. It's not in the order that I do it because, we talk about the first thing to do is to set up our notebook, so we have a place to put everything into. But my book, how I teach is there's 4 different areas, and the first is the foundations of Christmas planning. And so that includes your notebook, that includes your calendar, your budget, Christ-centered Christmas, and also includes your holiday celebrations. And so that's really important, because a lot of this, everything else hinges on what holiday celebrations you do, whether you attend them, host them, you've got all of the different things that go with that. And then I have gift giving at Christmas. Then we have the Christmas kitchen, and then we have home and away. And so that is anything that you do at home, like entertaining, decorating, cleaning, activities, and then as well as things that you do away from home, which is events, traveling, things like that. So that's kind of how everything goes. And Christmas tree ornament swap. Yeah, and I have a really cool little item that I created. It's available on Amazon. It's called My Ornament Journal, and it is a book to record ornaments that you're given as a gift. And you can put down when you received it, who you received it from. There's room for a picture to go in there if you want to take a picture, and any special notes on it. This has really been something really great for my kids, because when they leave home, I shove this book to them along with all their ornaments, so they know where they all came from. And Linda said, thank you for all the wonderful ideas. Thank you. I appreciate it. So does anybody have any other questions or anything? I know I talked kind of fast. I could talk for an hour on each one of these letters. And I will be doing that on my YouTube channel so that I will dive deeper into each one of them because I just barely skimmed the surface.
So do you want to stop sharing your screen?
Oh, yep, I can
And
do that.
you might even type in the chat, where they can find you on your YouTube.
Okay, let's see. Let me pull this up. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I'm trying to.
We're all amateurs.
Let's see. You are sharing. And I want to stop the sharing. There we go.
You're still sharing.
Yeah, I'm trying to click on the.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Stop share. It's a stop share. Okay. So, all right. So the easiest thing to do is to go to christmasorganizing.com. And when you go to christmasorganizing.com, well, maybe I need to do it www.christmasorganizing.com. Well, it didn't make it linkable.
That's all right.
Okay.
You can type it in.
Yeah, so you're just copy and paste it. So when you go there, you can find across the top, let's see. Yeah, across the very top, you will see Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and then you see the YouTube icon there also. And then that's on the left-hand side at the very top, and on the right-hand side, you'll see the newsletter. So you can sign up for the newsletter, and that is for everything's free. I do have a paid group, but you'll get information on that, and it's $3 a month if anybody's interested, but there's more information. But I give lots of stuff for free. There's lots of different, I guess I could have kept sharing my screen for that, but there's lots of different resources and articles and stuff on the website. So I encourage you to go and look.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't do any internet. Is there any way I can get a copy of what you did? I come in late. I had some things come up and that caused me to be late, and then I didn't get here with my login information. And but I wondered if I could get a colored copy of what you just had on the screen. And do you have anything on basic, just something basic of each month?
Yeah, of each month. I don't really
or
have
under each of the ABCs, I should say.
Yeah, I can send, if Scott, if you can give me her address, or if you want to give me your address in the chat or somehow,
My
then
address is 462 Northwest McDonald Road. Do I need
Okay.
to send you some money?
No, I'll send it to you. So hang on just a second. Let me find a piece of paper to write down on.
And we only have 2 more in our group. Am I allowed to share with them?
Yes, you can. So give me your address again, your name and your address.
I'm Loretta McDonald, LORETTAMcdonald.
Okay.
And my address is 462 Northwest McDonald Road, Brineville. Am I going too fast?
No, say your city again.
Prineville, PRINEVILLE.
Okay.
Oregon, 977549396. And those last 4 digits make a lot of difference, I'll tell you.
Okay. And what state are you in?
Oregon.
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 Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll send that out. It may be the end of by Friday, I should be able to get it in the mail to you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. You're
Is it-
welcome.
will it be in color or will it be black and white?
I actually I can send you what today we did. I can send that to you in color. And I have
Okay.
something else I'm gonna put in there to send to you also. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you very
you're-
much. I enjoy these lessons a great deal, these Zoom lessons. And I am very thankful for everyone giving these lessons, that you're so gracious about volunteering for Scott. And I really appreciate it.
Well, I've enjoyed today. I hope that everybody learned something. That's always my goal, is that somebody can take some little nugget of information away.
Well, this has been really interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off the spotlight for a second.
Fine.
And you got anybody else that wants to comment or questions?
Yes, I didn't see a sleep anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure when I sleep. You put that on your calendar. You make sure you put on your calendar when to sleep. That's and one of my whole things that I do, my mottos for Christmas organizing is to take Christmas from stress to blessed. It doesn't really, just because you're doing Christmas organizing doesn't mean that you have to have this great grandiose Christmas. It's about creating the Christmas that you want to have, whether that's a little tree on the table and you send out 5 Christmas cards. You have to make it purposeful, though. You have to say, this is what I want, because in today's world, we get so caught up in what the world thinks we should be doing instead of what we want to be doing. So I always encourage everybody to make a plan, because when you make the plan, then you know what it is you want to do and not giving in to what everybody else wants to do. You know, if you need to make days to have, like the day before and the day after a party at your house, be your takedown days, you know, your decompression days. Don't let somebody else come in and book a party or something that go, nope, I already have something on my calendar. You don't have to tell them what it is. You just have to say, I already have something else on my calendar. So, because you need to keep your sanity. And it's really surprising to me also. Everybody is always surprised that December 25th comes around as quickly every year as it does. Like Christmas just sneaks up on them. They're just like, wait a minute, what? And I'm like, yeah, it comes the 25th of December every single year. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, yep. So, but yeah, and my whole thing is that you cannot have a stress-free Christmas. Don't let anybody ever tell you can have a stress-free Christmas, because there is no such thing, because life happens. Okay. You can have a less stressful Christmas because you can start and plan out things that you have control over. Back probably 15 years ago, I had a lady write to me and say, thank you so much for everything that you did, because I created my stuff throughout the year. I bought presents, I wrapped them, I had them in the attic for our little girl. And between like sometime after Thanksgiving, her father-in-law passed away, and she was pregnant and had her child early. And she was able to tell her sister or somebody, I can't remember exactly, that all of the little girls' presents were already purchased and wrapped and up in the attic, and all they had to do was go up there and get them and put them out. So that little 3-year-old still had the Christmas that she had, you know. And so she's like, I couldn't have done that if I hadn't controlled the things that I could control, because she couldn't control her father-in-law passing away, and she couldn't control having a baby premature that was in ICU or NICU. So that's the whole thing, is control the things you can, and because life will happen.
The comments, questions? Well, Chrisann, I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed it. Matter of fact, I'm going to have to go back through it again after it's recorded and And I guess I neglected writing down the first 4 or 5 on there, so I'm gonna have to go back and get those off of there.
That's fine. And I can send you the little presentation that you can email out to everybody that has email.
Okay,
So
if you wanna
anybody
do
else,
that, that'd be great.
yeah, and if anybody else wants it mailed to them, I'll be glad to do that too. So just,
Okay,
get in contact with you. You can let me know if somebody wants it.
all right. Well, don't
And-
be a stranger for me anymore.
Yeah. And please join me on YouTube, because I have not posted in YouTube since December, but that's getting ready to change tomorrow. So we're going to be having more and more YouTube things, and I'm going to try to keep them 10 to 15 minutes each, so that I'm not taking up so much time. But I will have the different topics and stuff and be out there, so you can go out there and like that. That's one of my biggest things I'm trying to do right now, is to get my YouTube subscribers up. So make sure you subscribe. If you know YouTube, hit that subscribe button so that you get notifications when I have, because that's like the biggest compliment I can get, is when I get a subscription on my YouTube channel. Doesn't cost you a thing. Just be signed into your account.
Okay, well, and this will be on YouTube, because that's what I do.
Oh, is that where we have it? Okay, awesome.
I
Awesome.
have to record this onto YouTube, and I just put the links on the Oregon FCE website.
Okay, awesome.
So anyway, it'll be there, and then you can do it there. And
Awesome.
while everybody's on there, I just want to remind everybody, I got John. His name's John Metha from Arizona State in Yuma. He'll be here for August, and I'll actually be in Erlanger, Kentucky when I'm doing that. Which is, they have electricity there. They have the internet there. So it'll work. I did one with Faye Spencer, and I saw Faye on here. I don't know if she's still on there. I was actually in Florida when I hosted that one. So I appreciate that. And again, I'm looking for people. I need someone for September and October. I think I have the tea lady's going to come back on November, but I need others. So if you know anybody, and we're all amateurs. Thank you very much, Chrisann, and thank you for everyone for attending.
Thank you, everybody, for
smile.
Thank you.
Thanks. See everybody later. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Loretta.
Yes, it is. I had some news come in. I had to have a man out there putting my little 5x6